This is a video going over sheet 6 of the manual, curtain wall and storefront labor. So, the idea is to accept reports. I'll just open up here. The idea is to accept reports from the likes of GDS or Glazer Studio and apply labor. So, square footage, number of openings, number of stock lengths, number of joints. Caulk, linear feet of one bead. DLOs less than or greater than, well, greater than or less than. And then this is counting the bays. So in storefront, you count the bays, and in curtain wall, you count the verticals. So less than 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 8, 18. With curtain wall, we have break, corners, and tiebacks. When you plug in one here, that, well, just, this 42 translates over here to tieback, so it's $50 per tieback. You can put it at 41. So that just automatically puts in a value for the tieback while the labor stays here. So 42, 3-man, 1 hour. 42 is 126 man hours. Oh, for the doors, let's just go over that quickly. So, since the first two are exterior, and the last one is interior for both curtain wall and storefront, if you put these numbers in here, this translates over to Easy Proposal as exterior. So 14 total openings, 4 exterior pairs, 6 exterior singles, and 4 interior singles. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. I don't know if it's necessarily tied in. It was tough for me to keep Easy Proposal and Glass Estimator tied together as I went through the manual. But anyway, if you put it in these two, it will show up on Easy Proposal as exterior. I'll go over the drop downs here. So this is pulling from, so if I go Oldcastle, this now will show Oldcastle's systems. So if I go over here to money and move all the way over here, this is where it pulls from. So exterior storefront, interior storefront, exterior curtain wall, and then over there is interior curtain wall. And you want to put a 1 here to make them show up. If I put a 0 here, US aluminum won't show up on the drop down. And then adding to this, you can just copy this and put it in there and then adjust it as you see fit. This makes it to the proposal. This goes to individual as a shorthand. So AC or OCFG 3000T. OCFG 3000T front. So that makes it over to individual as a shorthand representation of what you have chosen, and final as well. And that changes on the, that changes live. So this just figures labor. 4 DDLs, that's what I just went over there. Doors, each has 6 panes. I have door counts. So the door counts over here. So each has this. So this will pull number of doors 3 and 4 from here. And then you can adjust, 2-man 6 hours for a pair. And then that translates over here. Total install, and transit. That is then gathered here. So there's a total of 3 pairs and 8 singles in storefront. And then there's your total labor for the storefront doors. Curtain wall does the same thing. Individual application of labor, and then it combines everything here. And then these numbers, 3 plus 10, then are combined over here on individual for 13.2. All right, and then the leaves, frames, singles, pairs. This does not figure This does not figure whether or not it is in Curtainwall or Storefront. So input bar, I basically already went over that. Install labor B, C, and D. C and D is really all you're looking at. These are the only cells to be adjusted. All other cells are formulaic. So this is a part of setting up GEP. So if I go over here to page 2, this page can be ignored when first cracking into it. But it basically goes on to say that you got to change your 2 and 0.5, your man and hours, while this pulls from here. I'll show you here. So if so 26 pulls from here, and you can see it says equals SF1Q. I wonder why I named that. I named this SF1Q for some reason. Set subsil is the same. Set bays, it's just pulling it from there. So you want 2 man, half an hour for measure. And you can adjust these on the fly. So measure and stage takes up 12% of the 532 plus 53. No, I'm sorry, that just does the install. So 12% of the total install is taken up by measuring and stage. 53 of setting the metal. This is just totaling the number of bays. So 57 is 26 plus 1, Number of DLOs. Greater than or less than is your discretion. So greater than can be reserved for larger lights that need more man, or ones out of reach. 32% is allotted to setting the DLOs, and then 3% is allotted to corners and brake metal. One thing about brake metal, you can figure it here. You can also figure it here. This will make it over to the proposal. You have your drop downs, and this pulls from here. Here is pan and column brake metal. So you can adjust numbers as you see fit. And a lot of these, see, there's a lot of just nominal things. I just kind of copied a percentage. Generally I'd imagine that a lot of shops just have a standard number for brake metal and they don't really worry about it too much necessarily. But this makes it over to the proposal. So it'll say 26 total pan, 14 total column. There you go, 26 and 14. And this you would have to write out yourself, inclusions, exclusions, XYZ. Or you can just put it in inclusions, brake metal at header, and figure the labor through here. 14 brake, 2 man, half an hour. So there's your labor total for installation. And then you can come over here and plug in a number for brake. So if you don't want it to go on the proposal individually, you can figure it here if you'd like, and take the labor and the material costs and plug it in. So that's just the various ways to do brake metal labor. Doors, input bar, install labor, caulk. Okay, so caulk I changed a little bit recently. I'll go over to Curtainwall just to switch it up. So we have here 1 bead of caulk. If I make it 2, this linear feet is double this, right? And the other number that you adjust is this here, M27. So if you want to make it 5 linear feet per man hour, it'll change the price per linear feet. So if you do it by price per linear feet, which say you want to get to 20, you would just do, adjust that. There it is, 5.5. And then this also makes it to the proposal. So 1 bead of caulk, 2 beads of caulk. So if I go over here to SF, first one has 2, second one has 2, but, oh no, actually that's, so there's the one there. So just to realize this, this is taking the total by the linear feet. Now, this won't change even if this is 2. So just to be aware of that, I guess. And then for the flashing, if you want to, you know, equals that, and then adjust this however you'd like. This then, it kind of screws this up because it's just taking the total. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, you know what? It wouldn't really matter because this would be independent of that. Anyway, so linear feet is, just double click it to see the formula, is 12.1 divided by 600. Fabrication is currently set to the number of joints for seal joints, and cut is equal to the number of joints plus the stock lengths. I don't really have an explanation as to why I did it like that. That's just how I do it. You can adjust this however you see fit. Steel is equal to steel here for wind. And then when it comes back over here, the 60, the 14, and the 26, that's saying that the total man hours down here of 974, that's comparing these against that. So total man hours is all of this is fab, caulk, install, and transit added together. So it's these 4 plus this, and you can just double click to see. Install is everything less transit. So it's a little bit, it's not really worded correctly necessarily. In this case, install is saying fab, caulk, and install. Total is fab, caulk, and install plus transit. So it's a little bit of a lapse of terminology there. Utility is also taken from the, let's see. So utility is taken from the dollar over here. Now with this, utility is completely adjustable. So if I change that, all of them will show that. So that's $1 marked up and then taxed. And yeah, as you can see, it goes across with all of them. I guess that's it. I mean, obviously, if you don't want to use any of this, you can just zero them out. You can go 0 here. I understand not wanting to charge for measure. You know, that might be like a administrative cost or something that you don't really do for man hours. It might be done by the project manager. So obviously, all these are adjustable. Price per square foot. This is the number that I concern myself with. A lot of people will do, you know, total price per 77. I concentrate on this number here, price per labor. Let's see, I believe that's everything. This is going over final man hours again. So this is an introduction to basically how the labor applicator is applied to all of them. Once you understand that, it's all pretty much set up the same way. Up here. So this one takes numbers from here in green and applies it. Linear feet runs, average linear feet per run, lights less than, greater than. So that is it for page 6. Thank you.